For 20 years, I just was a corporate slave. Advertising, I worked in fintech, in Meta, in South Africa, London, Germany, and then finally New York.
So how long have you been doing the stand-up comedy now?
3 years, the chaotic one. The one that has no blueprint, no boundaries, the unhinged one. And it's so far my favorite one. It was Yusuf Shaheen, right? Was in the first night of our play. He wanted to cast me immediately.
Did you know him at the time?
I'm glad that happened. I'm glad, because who knows what would have happened if I did that. 3 years ago, I checked the final checklist of what my 40-year-old life should look like.
Yeah.
I looked around my Manhattan apartment and I said, wait, is this it?
So at that point, you start to question, what actually is it that I'm looking for?
I was like, I'm ready to sign the thing, celebrating with my friends. The next day, they went bankrupt.
You're kidding.
And they found a mole and, we need to remove it immediately. I did turn out to have cancers. Whatever the result is, life can end. I mean, we all know that.
What did you discover when you cracked it open?
That I would say, I promised you that we're gonna be free. And we are.
Noha?
Love the font.
Do you like it?
It's so good.
Right?
I love it.
Thank you. And we've got even our mugs as well, by the way, so
Hello.
please.
I love it.
And on both sides, so if you're left-handed or right-handed.
Inclusivity.
Yeah, exactly. So welcome to What She Never Said.
Thanks.
And yes, who would have thought meeting you once, and this wasn't even in the picture then. So, there I was, coming to your show, not knowing that you were even going to be there. Like, it was just a full surprise. And I was just like, this lady is just epic. And honestly, I just felt the energy instantly. And and we connected and, I was like, and then here we are. It's incredible. So before we go any further, please introduce yourself.
Okay. So you basically picked me up from a comedy club.
That's kind of true.
My first.
Yeah. No regrets
at all. Taib, introduce yourself. That's always a fun one.
Yeah.
My name is Noha, and I love the meaning of the name because it means brains, many brains.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's an more ancient meaning that it's the intersection between the brain and the heart.
Okay.
So I really...
Ancient, when you mean ancient, like ancient...
So Noha is in Quran.
Okay,
It is noted in Quran. It's Ulul Noha, so those who are with the many brains. But there's an even older meaning where it's not just smarts. It's that weird, interesting point that's balance between the heart and the mind. I like that meaning.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and they were gonna call me Suha, which was not gonna be as nice, but thankfully it's Noha.
I really see you only as a Noha. Yes, they made the right decision there.
Yeah. Almost 46 years old, and not that age really means anything, but it gives an idea of how many lives one has lived. So it says something about a person.
I agree.
This is probably my 10th, 11th life. Mm-hmm. Not like a multiple lives, not like a reincarnation thing, but just kind of the different lives I've lived within my years. I think one of the most important things for me is being free. Free to express myself, free to be, free to leave, free to go, free to do whatever. That freedom thing is very important to me. Currently, how I spend my days, I sleep in. Sleep is very important.
It is to me too.
I write.
It trumps everything else.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Also because my dreams are very elaborate. And I get a lot of my ideas from dreams, but that's a different story. And then I write. I do some morning stuff. I do comedy shows at night. Sometimes once every other week, I'll do a consulting thing, something from my past life, my past corporate life, just to have some extra money to buy fancy things. But yeah, that's who I am right now.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. So many lives. What chapter would you say Noha is at now?
The chaotic one, the most chaotic one, the one that has no blueprint, no boundaries, the unhinged one. And it's so far my favorite one.
So how long have you been in that chapter?
I would say 3 years. I feel like this chapter officially.
Yeah.
This is my third season on the same chapter, because 3 years ago, almost to the day, I quit my corporate job, 20 years of corporate life, to just see what would happen.
That's amazing. So I know that you've shared this, but I want to go touch on it. What were you doing?
So for 20 years, I just was a corporate slave. I started as a teacher. I worked in PR, events. I did a bit of acting. I had a live TV show. There was always a side hustle back in the Egypt days. And then I worked in advertising. I worked in fintech. And then I worked in tech, in Meta, here, South Africa, London, Germany, and then finally New York. And 3 years ago, when I had checked the final checklist of what my 40-year-old life should look like.
Yeah.
I looked around my Manhattan apartment. You can see the river, you can see the park. And I said, wait, is this it? Is this what I've been working so hard for? And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, alhamdulillah. But sometimes when you reach the end of your list, you realize maybe that wasn't my list.
Okay.
Maybe it was someone else's list.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yes.
And that's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
And then one day I was walking, I used to go to comedy clubs all the time in New York. Never realized the best.
The best.
I like my first ever comedy show was COVID when I moved to New York, right?
Okay.
And when they first opened, we're all masked up. The first comedy show I attended, guess who just popped in?
I really wouldn't know.
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so that was like my, hello, welcome to the comedy world. At that point, I had no idea I wanted to be a comedian, by the way.
I was going to ask.
Had no idea.
Okay.
It was complete fluke.
And what happened that night?
That night, I just sat there while Dave Chappelle in his jumpsuit and his drink in his hand and cigar, standing, just like sweating all over us on the front row. And it was just amazing. I was like, oh, this is New York. This is why I moved to New York.
Okay.
So I can see things like this. Never thought that, I want to be like him one day. But yeah, so I lived in New York. But the moment, 3 years later, living in New York, walking down West Village, when all the NYU students would sit and busk and distribute flyers for their shows, I looked at them and said, in my next life, I'm going to be like them.
Okay.
And that's when it hit me. I'm like, what next life?
What hit you?
That I don't need to wait for a next life if there is a next life. Like, what ties me down? I think that's the biggest thing, is that we're not tied down, by the way.
Yes.
That's the biggest myth.
Yeah, we always have choices.
Yes.
We always have choices.
Exactly. And I was like, at that point, I was not married, don't have kids, no really big responsibilities. What's tying me down other than the jail I put myself in?
That's so powerful.
And that's how it started.
That's so powerful. I think, Noha, there's so many people, not just women, who are unhappy in their jobs, who feel they're in a prison, who feel like they have their dreams, or they get to a point, like you said, where you reach something, I thought that was the target, and I thought it would give me some sort of fulfillment or happiness or joy, but I don't feel that. So at that point, you start to question, so what actually is it that I'm looking for?
So the thing is, to your point of, it's a two-step thing, right? One is realizing you're not in jail.
Yes.
And you have choices.
Yes.
And the second is, what do I do with these choices?
Yes.
So a lot of people drop off in this stage.
Yes.
A lot of very brave, very smart people that worked on themselves, they reach the place where, like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
But then they drop off in this journey because they don't know what it is that they're passionate about. They see other people that, they've always wanted to be an actor or always wanted to be an artist. And then it's easy for them because they can see a different parallel life. But when you haven't invested in yourself, in your curiosity to experiment and see exactly what you want, this is the point. This is a drop off point. So I was lucky since I was a child that I love experimenting. Since I was a child, I'll jump into, and I my friends would always remind me of the story. A few years ago, we were on a boat. I can't swim.
Okay.
And I fell in the water by accident here in Dubai.
Okay.
And then I got pulled out, and that moment they all looked at me as like, this is either a point of trauma, or whatever you do next will determine your relationship with bodies of water for the rest of your life.
100%.
So
Absolutely.
I immediately jumped back in and they taught me how to swim.
Wow.
So that's how I live my life. right? You have to experiment. You have to jump
Yeah.
in, even if mistakes happen, even if you don't know.
Yeah, like literally jump in
Yeah.
to the deep end, and you either swim or you
Exactly.
drown,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So when I made the decision to leave everything behind, the first thing was I missed the Arab world so much. Living in, I was brought up in Canada, lived in the UAE as a child, lived in Egypt for a significant amount of time, maybe a little over a decade.
Okay.
And then mostly traveled the world.
Yeah.
But I knew that I didn't want to be in that capitalist Western society. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to come back first. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I wanted to come back. The initial I tricked myself saying, let's take 6 months.
Okay.
Traveled a bit, went to see some friends, and then when I came back, I was like, I'm gonna audition for some place because I've done acting before, so that could be it.
Yeah.
And then no plays were happening, and then a friend of mine sends me a link. He's like, we've signed you up for a stand-up comedy class.
So that's how it came?
That's how it came.
Really?
And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, you're kind of funny. Just go. Just go. I'm like, okay, I'll take whatever class. I've always been a horrible singer, but I'll take a singing class.
I mean, that must be a characteristic in you that has that courage to just show up.
Yeah.
And without knowing, having, no expectations of how it's going to be, you still went for it. It takes a lot of vulnerability for people to put themselves in a space like that, to really show themselves and be like, what's the worst that's going to happen? If I don't like it, then I know I don't like this thing and I can just move on to something else.
Yeah.
So what would you say to people who are just not like that, who maybe have that dream, right? Or, they're miserable with their work. They have a dream. They know they want to quit, but they just don't have that leap of faith to just say, okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? What pulled you? Like, I'm just interested in what was your mind telling you at this point?
My mind was telling me just it's it's like it's one life, and do you want to spend the rest of it sitting at a laptop? And then at that point, I wasn't that brave yet. I said, at least for the next 6 months, no. So I want to make the most of the next 6 months. I want to imagine that the next 6 months are my last ever holiday.
Okay.
So what would you do with your last ever holiday? What would you do with your last ever 6 months where you didn't have to wake up at 8 a.m. to jump on a call with New York?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I think for people, again, when you reach the realization that I want more, and then experimenting with something or trying to do something, the drop off here happens when we try something for the first time and we're not naturally good at it.
Yeah.
That's where the drop off happens.
Yeah.
The thing is, again, it needs a lot of vulnerability for you to be able to make a fool out of yourself in front of people and test and fail. A lot of people are afraid of failure, and that's what stops them.
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I got addicted to the feel of failure at some point, and I'll explain.
Yes.
Basically, when you try something new, if you are good at it immediately, you're probably doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So usually you're not going to be really good at it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that means I know that the path to growth is going to be more extreme.
Yeah.
So you get addicted to that high of learning something,
Yes.
putting discipline in, which a lot of people unfortunately don't have.
Yeah, I think people don't see the effort that goes into building something, right? It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
With no one really. I mean, it doesn't matter in any sort of success stories or companies. It all started off small in order for it to slowly build, because I think the more failures you have, it just means the more lessons you've learned.
100%.
And the more lessons you've learned, the more you're just going to grow in your path in whichever you're in.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like stale bread, I always say. Bread is great. If you just leave it untouched, it's going to be stale. No one wants stale bread, right? So even if you cook with it something that you're going to throw in the garbage, at least you did something with it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you an example out of the comedy world for something that might look so natural and easy. Is actually, it has a lot of effort behind it. When comedians do crowd work, for example.
Well, like when you start talking to the people.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
But I mean, not a lot of people, a lot of people love it, but it's not just in the moment.
Yeah.
It comes with lots of hours of speaking to people and nothing happening.
Okay.
It comes with making sure that you have memorized by heart and can tap into hours of material that's been tested and tried if this interaction doesn't work.
Okay. So like something to fall back on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And that gives your brain the confidence to jump all in and go on unhinged on someone.
Okay.
All right. You can't just, a first-time comedian, a lot of first-time comedians think that, because I'm witty and I have good banter, I can go up on stage and I can do crowd work. It's like, no, you actually have to work on your material first.
I would have never known that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then at some point, like the really good comedians, they'll sit down and say, I wish I said that on that day with that person.
Yeah.
Okay, let me write it out. And sometimes it turns into a joke.
Okay.
Sometimes it's the things you wish you said to someone,
Things
but
you
you
wish you
didn't.
said.
Yes! And then it's just in there marinating in your brain. And then someday someone with almost the same profile is going to come up and you're going to take it out on them. So it's a lot of prep. It's not just, hi, you're Lebanese, you work in advertising. No, it's a lot more than that.
It sounds like I'm just going to be in the moment for these next 6 months. And I'm just going to see what happens without an agenda, without a detailed plan, other than just to be playful, be experimental, and just see where this ride takes me.
Yep.
So that friend, or you said it was a friend or friends that signed you up.
Yeah.
Amazing friends.
Yeah, they really are.
And
they're the ones that always laugh the loudest at all my jokes. So they're very special. They're my first friends I ever made in Dubai.
That's incredible.
I met them in an elevator.
Yeah.
In the company that I worked for.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, in Dubai?
In Dubai, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I always say, we all have excellence in us. And sometimes we don't really see our own excellence. And it gets pointed out by others. And in those moments, you're just like, wow, you see that? Thank you. I think we all need that sometimes.
100%,
to really give us a little nudge, a little push towards something that we might not even see for ourselves because we get blinded.
Yeah.
You're so much more in your own story, in your own mind, that sometimes you're not seeing it. So amazing friends. I wanted to just acknowledge them. So
thank you, Nayab and Joy. Love you.
So that was so you never thought of comedy before?
Ever.
And
just art. I know I loved being an artist. I loved being on stage.
Okay.
Because I did theater, I did TV, I had my own live TV show, national TV show, broadcasted internationally, all that stuff. So I've been there before. And even in my work, I always managed to incorporate some type of performance.
Okay.
Whether it's doing public speaking coaching within the work that I did, whatever it is. There was always a playful performance element. But I just wanted to be an artist that wasn't tied down to global guidelines and brand you know?
So was there anything that Noha had to unlearn from being on the stage?
Okay. You mean like...
On the stage of comedy.
Okay.
What did you have to, or anything you had to leave behind?
For comedy in specific?
Yeah.
You know how in public speaking coaching, we say the pause is very important?
Yes, we do.
Don't overdo it in stand-up comedy. That's one of the things I learned in acting classes, actually, and it helped me a lot in stand-up. We, in public speaking, when you're doing a TED Talk or a board meeting or whatever, they teach us the pause is so important. But I think we've over-indexed on planning the pause. That we forgot that we don't talk in grammar. We don't talk in punctuation. Punctuation and grammar are something we invent for writing. But if I'm speaking to you and I'm passionate about something, I'm just going on and on about it. But if you're transcribing this, there's like multiple commas, full stop, exclamation mark. None of that stuff is there. So that's one thing I learned or had to unlearn from public speaking and like pitching billion-dollar ideas to people that will pay for them to doing stand-up comedy, especially if I'm ranting about something I'm passionate about. You
spoke about you being 46, unmarried, no children. And let's be honest, it's not the most common scenario in the Middle Eastern world. And yet you're showing up unapologetically and living life on your own terms.
I'll tell you what I tell my mom. It's not the most common scenario in the Middle East. What's more common, much more common, is divorced
Yes.
At 46 with a couple of kids.
Yes.
Right? So I tell her that I just avoided at least one divorce. You know, I got engaged many times in my 20s. Many times back when I still fell for the patriarchal, this is the only way for you to escape and have a life, and this is what a woman is all, whatever. But I managed to get out of it unscathed, unmarried, you know. But yeah, it's not like it's not like I sat down at 30 and I said, I'm never gonna get married. I'm not gonna. No. But what I did was I had some standards, and I was never lonely enough to just go for someone just because I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
I'd rather be on my own than fighting for, you know, I'm not like, I'm making it sound like I hate men. I love men.
Yes,
I love them. And I would have loved to find someone, but I'm not out there. That's my purpose in life. My purpose in life is to use every skill I have and every gift I have. So my gifts sometimes don't coincide with the gifts of motherhood, for example.
Yeah.
Respect to everyone who's a mother. I could never do it.
Yeah.
I could never do that. You know, I have.
When did you decide you could, like, what was it that you?
Kids, I never really had the same drive.
Yeah.
You know, all my friends in our early 20s, they're like, I want this wedding dress and I want to have 7 kids. And I'm like, I just want to wear a business suit and travel all the world, like, because people think I'm smart.
Yeah.
Very different ambitions from our kids.
But honest and truthful.
Yeah.
And I mean, what a boring world if we're all the same.
100%. Yeah.
And we're not meant to be.
No.
I think it's really, again, so refreshing when you hear people, and especially women, I'm going to say, who are just honest with what they want and what they don't want and what they will not settle for.
Yeah, that's it. Not settling. I think that's the big one.
Not
that's the
settling.
thing. People don't say that a lot because unfortunately, we settle a lot of times, right? Like in even I settled in my corporate job. I wanted a lot of things. My corporate job, again, very grateful. It ticked a lot of boxes and gave me boxes I didn't even want, but I knew other people wanted them, so it felt like I should want them too, I guess, right? But I still settled.
Yeah.
I still settled for a life that it wasn't really.
What do you think that comes from? Where do you think that comes from?
Just the way we're socialized, everything we're consuming. It's like eating, right? You eat, everything you eat leaves some sort of impact on you. Imagine everything we're hearing, the media, magazines back in the day, TV, radio, our friends, el-bawab, the doorman, your relatives, your cousins, your everything.
Movies, everything.
Yes, everything. I mean, fairy tales on their own, they're all sexist, weird, dodgy, like fucking Snow White.
Yes.
Snow White is like, well, the girl slept and then she got like, what the?
Yeah.
That's what we grew up on.
Yes.
Right? Cinderella,
totally agree.
she met the love of her life and he couldn't even recognize her
and
when
a
she
slipper.
took makeup off.
And then a slipper.
What?
What?
Every single teen.
Like, let's find the one with a slipper that fits. I mean, it's
you
just,
want to tell me
so
that
ridiculous.
you'll find exactly, like, what? There are 10 sizes. There's 10 sizes. 1,000 women, what's the possibility that, it's insane.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All the makeover movies is like, she takes off the glasses and suddenly,
Yeah.
That's what did it for us.
Yes.
Right?
Or Rapunzel with the hair and then it comes up. I mean, it's endless, actually. It's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it's, there's always conditioning. There's always some kind of condition, whether you are conscious of it or not, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there and we pick it up. And I think it really adds to your point of what you said earlier. It's so important to carve out those moments in life where you just pause and you say, okay, that's not mine.
Yeah.
It was handed over to me, or that belief or that opinion, and I'm actually choosing to leave it.
Yeah.
And instead, I want to go for this, or this brings me a bit more joy, or this is exciting. And again, I just think those pauses of just really self-reflection as to your point, you have one life.
Yeah.
And time goes by so quickly that, you know, I'm 48 and I look back and I think like, you know, where have those years, like, so grateful for all the teachings.
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't really matter of the actual age, but it's like you say, there's so many lives, there's so many
It
chapters.
tells a story.
It tells a story.
Yeah.
And as you change, I think you need to also question where you are now at this stage and do things feel aligned or not?
Yeah. I think one of the most important things that I did for myself, and I'm grateful for it, is that I was okay with pivoting.
Yes.
A lot of people say, I invested so much in this. Haram, yani, I can't. I will just follow through. But it's not. Don't confuse follow through and discipline with pivoting.
Yes.
There's nothing, the saying that's like, never give up. No, sometimes you should give up.
I actually think I agree with that. I actually think it's a dishonor.
Yeah.
And you're dishonoring yourself by not quitting when you know you need to quit.
Yeah.
And that could be in a job, that could be in a relationship, that could be in anything,
In a
really.
dream.
In a dream, just like, I thought I wanted this, and actually, no, I want to go and try something else.
Yeah.
And a lot of people see that as, oh, you've given up, or you're failing, or it's gotten too difficult, so you want to, like, no, it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So, and again, if you don't need to really, I would say, explain yourself to anyone and just yourself, that's the most important thing.
I mean, everyone will want an explanation. Sometimes maybe the people you care about, you owe it to them because you care about them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they won't appreciate it. Imagine what people I care about said when I said I'm going to leave the corporate world and become a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. What were the kind of voices that you heard at the time?
I remember
opinions.
I'm gonna tell you about one of my close friends.
Okay.
And she's really big in the entertainment world. She's helped people that names that everyone will recognize become big stars. And she was visiting. She lives in Egypt. She was visiting Dubai with her sister. And then we were getting ready to go to a show. It was probably like my 10th show. I was just started. And I said, I'm actually considering extending the 6-month period. And then she sat me down with her sister like an intervention and said, listen, Noha, you can do both. Go get a job. You're one of the top people in your field. What are you talking about? Tech moves so fast, you'll be forgotten within a year. And then you can do stand-up on the side. What are you doing? Stand-up comedy is one of the hardest art forms for you to make it because it's individual. Acting, directing, music, you can be part of something. There's more spots for people. Stand-up comedy, no one cares. No one cares until you're Dave Chappelle. That's it. So the journey is hard. I chose the hardest one. And I'm not 20-something like most people start because they have years and years of doing a dead-end job and then doing the stand-up or whatever. So it was an intervention. Then we went to the show. After she said, you're right, don't get a job, can pursue this. Right? So
after she watched your show?
After she watched, yeah.
Okay.
So that's an example.
Yeah.
And it could have intimidated me in the show, but no, I'm not out here to prove anything.
Yeah.
I'm out here just to live at this stage. For 20 years, I wasn't really living. I was productive. I was really productive. Oh my God, I had the Oura Ring, the Apple Watch. Everything was calculated. Everything was timed. We're all walking towards some sort of, I don't know, leaderboard of existence.
I think there's a lot of us that are going around blind, walking blind, I would say, like really quite unconscious of the decisions they're making. Just, I think like almost like robot-y, like controlled in a way of do this and then do this and then, you go to school, go to university, finish, get married, have kids, get a job, get promoted, buy the house. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that
100%.
for some people. Like if that's something that they value as a way of life and brings them contentment and happiness, so be it. It's not a one box fits all situation in life.
Yeah. Like you said, there's nothing wrong with wanting different things at different times.
So, Noha, what are you done apologizing for?
Oh, this one was huge. My loud laugh.
I love your laugh.
I love it too. I love laughing.
Yes.
Imagine this loud laugh in Cairo, 2004, in a salon where you're meeting grooms blindly, You're in a matchmaker situation, and then someone says something funny, and you go, Imagine. we'd get like pinched in our inner thighs. But yeah, I've stopped. I've stopped to the extent that people now recognize my laugh from very far away. So that was a big one. But it's also a metaphor for existing, for being, for expressing yourself. So to me, the laugh is the summation of all of that.
Yeah.
I told you I was in TV for a while in my 20s, and we were influenced by all the magazines and media, powers that be in media. So if you gain 1 kilo, 1 inch, 1 whatever anywhere, you can't look at yourself in the mirror. You feel like your self-worth is gone. A lot of issues in the world are because people have issues of the way they look and they're perceived. So that I stopped completely caring about it. I mean, you got to be healthy enough, of course, I guess. But I cannot stand for when beautiful women with beautiful bodies look in the mirror and is like, oh my God, I want to take that like Ozempic. And again, no shade to Ozempic. I took it years ago, right? Lost a lot of weight. It all came back, but whatever. But when a woman looks like you find these women, they're breaking glass ceilings. They're firing 7 guys called Kevin by 12 p.m. And then you will take her down with a low angle selfie. Like, haram.
Yeah.
You know, the conditioning needs to stop.
Yeah, the conditioning needs to stop. And just be, I mean, for me, it just comes down to that self-worth. That self-worth that you said, and saying, I am enough as I am.
Yeah. And if I'm too much for you, you can go fuck off. You can keep that, obviously. Yes. And if I'm not enough for you, you know what? I'll be enough for someone else.
100%.
If none of you are okay with it, well, at least I'm happy. Yeah. So, and I always say that unless you are unless you are your loudest version, being loud and truly yourself is like a bat signal.
It's like a
bat signal.
Okay.
So unless the bat signal is out, Batman can't come, or Batwoman, or Bat job, or Bat career, or Bat art, right? So your people, your destiny or whatever won't find you unless you're out there saying, hello, I'm here. If you're hiding half of it, then how are we going to find you? We're not all psychics.
That's so beautiful. I love that. It's true. It's just showing up as your true authentic self.
Yeah. But what? You know my opinion
about
the authentic self, which is you have to work on yourself.
100%.
It's not the first version, and I'm talking very, very directly to some of my favorite people, some Gen Zs who have lived half a life, and they think that because they can't insult you to your face, or they can't say an opinion to your face, or they think everything they do is right because of the brand cover of this is my authentic self. No, we have to work on yourself. Yeah. We're not taking the first version. Yes. Go work on yourself and then come and be an authentic self. Yep. And even if the authentic self is a work in progress, that's great. But don't come to me with, like the influencers, the wellness influencers that are like 23 and they've never, had a trouble in their life, or maybe they had 1 or 2 troubles, respectfully, and they come and tell you this is how you should live your life. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I think just the preaching is not my favorite thing.
No.
It's okay to have opinions of
but like if you're preaching, I'll listen to you. Yeah. You've had experience. Yeah. You have things
something that I've had an experience with. Yeah. And then I'm like, this is how it affected me. This is what I learned from it. This is what perhaps I would do differently, knowing that experience. And based on that, I can give you this information, but it's down to you at the end of the day to take it or leave it.
To block and unsubscribe.
To take it or leave it. And that's it. Yeah. I'm still discovering myself, I would say. Even I feel like I'm the truest version of myself. I think there's always a continuation. It never ends. Yeah. Whether it's on your healing journey, whether it's on your self-growth journey, whether it's you being your authentic self journey. I think that's just life, really. Yeah. I think that's just part of life and growth of being curious to who you are and to the world around you.
100%. 100%. Like the moment we reach the stage and we realize that it's not about reaching a final state. Yeah. It's definitely about the lessons and the tests and as cliche as it sounds, the journey. Yes. But that's what it's about. I mean, it's about being curious, experiencing things, failing at things, coming up with crazy things, and then telling people about it. I guess maybe inspiring someone or two to come with you on the journey. I guess. Yeah.
Yes. I really want to dive into Noha off the stage, which you are here being present at this moment, and just to really understand a bit more of things that have perhaps taken place that have shaped you to being where you are today. So how long have you been doing the stand-up comedy now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. And you did share with me the other day that you are writing a book.
Yes. Yeah. That was... So I've been writing sci-fi for a long time.
Yes.
As a child, I used to write spy books for some reason. It just very unclear to me. And but it was great. Like, I guess I liked spies in World War II for some reason. And then I've always loved watching sci-fi, reading sci-fi. Every book I love is always a trilogy. And then, you come up with ideas. So I started writing some sci-fi. And in the process, I talked to publishers, I pitched some stuff. And every single person that works in that industry, when they meet me and sit with me, they say, oh, you have to write a self-help book. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to write a cliche self-help book. It's like, how to be your best. No, I want you to be your worst self. And like, write that. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. It's like, I just want, women should be more unhinged. It's like, write that. And I realized I've written probably half of it in notes and coaching guidelines and articles and whatever. And then that's where the idea came that I'm writing a book called, oh, was that too much?
I love it.
A guide for unhinged women. That's you. That's the book, basically. And wait, let me just...
Yeah,
woo!
Go for it. A guide to unhinged women. Yeah. That is... I want to hear more. Tell me more.
So basically, it's at the cool... I'm all about the shib and sneakers, man.
They're great.
So I was like, we're shooting that. Let me bring out the gookies.
It's my favorite color, by the way.
Really?
Yes,
Me too.
Green. I love it. It's
green.
My favorite color.
Same.
I'm obsessed with that color.
Yeah. What was the question?
So the book.
All right. So the book is chapters.
Okay.
Each chapter is a common issue that unhinged women face.
So have you started this?
Yeah, it's almost done.
It's almost done?
Yeah. Almost done in the writing.
Yes.
That's why this summer I'm taking time to go on a self-writing retreat journey to Dahab, as you know.
Yes.
Basically, it's chapters, and each chapter tackles one of the issues that women face. But it's written with insane unhingedness and comedy. Like, it's basically me talking.
Okay.
There's and when I talk, I always go all in with a roast. There's a lot of neuroscience involved because I studied it in MIT when I worked at Facebook, and then there's a bunch of personal stories from interviewed women, and then of course there is the guide itself. So as we spoke already now, like we explained the book before talking about the book. So it's okay to be something today and something tomorrow.
Yes.
It's okay to want to do something today and want something completely different tomorrow.
Yes.
So that every chapter doesn't give a one-size-fits-all advice or guide. It comes on a scale of unhingedness. So do you feel like a pretty little lady today? You get advice for that. You feel like a revengeful queen? We give you advice related to that. You want to go all unhinged kamikaze? There's advice to that. So that's generally the book idea.
I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read this.
So you have the mansplaining chapter, the was that your idea chapter? There was, your very intense chapter. There's that's kind of, yeah.
Is it a book that you wish was written?
Oh, 100%. And that's when you got to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. When you looked back at or reflected at your own journey, your own life, you'd be like, that's something that would have been...
That's one of the things. The second thing is it's something that I'd love to read. Like I want to read it now.
Yes.
Like
I want to read it now.
I was like, I would
love to read it now. I'd love to read it now and give it to all my girlfriends.
I'll send you early copies.
Signed one, please.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's just so refreshing. I really do, because I think we've just put as women so many measures to how you should look, what you should be wearing, how, time frames in your life of when you should be successful, when you should start something, or you're too old, you're too young. And it's just so tiring.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to relationships or just showing up, just how to show up. I can't wait. I really can't wait for this. This is so exciting. So I wanted to ask about your parents.
Yeah.
When you started your journey, what were their points? Because you said that when you were earlier on in Egypt, you were doing some sort of TV shows and dipping into different sort of ventures with all that. What were their opinions, and how did that help you, or how did it challenge you? If you could just talk to me a bit about that.
My dad passed away when we were young, when I was 24.
I'm sorry.
And he was the best man I've ever met. The second best two are my brothers. We're very close to my family. My mom became a single mom very early, I guess, early enough in life. And she had a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
She has these band of children that were raised half abroad, barely in Egypt, that she has to protect, to keep sane and safe. It's a big responsibility.
Of course.
So she did the best she could with the tools she had to protect us. But I had a streak that I had gotten from my dad, the Lerhamu, which is the artist, the rebel, the rule breaker, let's see what's in that dark alley that you shouldn't go to. I got that streak from him.
Okay.
Like my dad, Lerhamu, was the first person in his whole village to travel the world, to leave Egypt. He was the first to, do a lot of things. So I got that from him. And it's a lot for my sweet, innocent mom, my dad is the first man she ever met.
Yeah.
Right? So it was hard on them. Like, I feel really bad sometimes. I work through a lot of therapy to work through the guilt and everything. But still, I was trouble. I was trouble.
Bad and guilt. Why? Can you explain in what way?
Because it was just, I wanted more than I could articulate. I couldn't articulate it yet, and I would just do it. And the hormones of teenagers that are being uprooted from different places, it's a lot. Like it's a lot. This is what I say. Like, if you have teenage girls, anything like half of I was, like you go to heaven immediately. Like you can't, so yeah, I was a rebel. I was a complete rebel. I think by age 25, I would look in the mirror and say, how am I still alive? Like, how I've done things and seen things and
like
said,
what? Could you share?
Like in university.
What was the craziest, if you're comfortable with sharing that?
Yeah.
Like, what's the craziest thing?
I went to business school in Egypt, not the fancy, expensive. I went to business school in Spain. No, it was the easiest school to pass. And it was the only government school that had a semi-private English section, because my Arabic wasn't great because I was raised abroad. So it took me 7 years to finish a 4-year university, which is the easiest university that you could ever go to in the whole country. Why? Because I was just so bored with the curriculum that I went and got jobs. All my friends were out drinking and partying and dating, and I was out there getting jobs behind my parents. So
why were you getting jobs?
I was bored. I wanted to I wanted to start my life.
Oh,
I was like, I know this doesn't make sense. Like, this is stupid what you're teaching me.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have AI or even Google back then. It all just was logical to me. And I would just not study. And if there's a subject that I like, I'll study it. Not that much, but then I'd get the highest grade. So I was this conundrum to the school board. It's like, she gets, for half the subjects, she's the number one, the highest scoring student. And for other subjects, 0? What is this?
Yeah.
Years later, I realized I have dyscalculia, and I kept failing finance and accounting. And because no one knows about these kind of learning conditions, then you can't treat it. Right?
Especially then.
Yes.
I would say.
Yeah.
Especially then.
So I was out being in the school play and getting jobs. I worked as a sales agent. Imagine back Egypt, 2001.
Wow.
Door-to-door salesperson. for anyone that's listening, that's not even a thing. That's not even. Imagine
Yeah.
going door to door. As I was like, I was not as intimidating as I am now. I was very sweet looking, girl next door. They used to call me Egyptian Haifa Waha because that kind of the look I was.
I can see that. I can see that.
I don't even. I wish I remember one of her songs now, because that'd be really cute. What's one of her songs?
Oh, don't. I'm gonna blank. But
Now I'm more of like Layla Ilwi, but it's good.
She's also beautiful.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like 100 years old and she looks younger than us.
She's gorgeous.
But yeah, so that's like one of the crazy things I did. And that's the standard. Right? When the revolution happened in Egypt, I told my mom, I'm stuck at my friend's house on the other side of town. And then she sees me on the news, hey, in the square, revolting, right? So that's the kind of stuff literal rebellion. It's not like
I see it as just again, you said something at the beginning, freedom.
Yeah. I just wanted to be free. I just wanted to be free.
You said that at the beginning, and you're like, that just sounds like what drives you.
Yeah.
And I can relate to that totally, because I think I was the same. I was the same. Anything that gave me a sense of freedom, I would follow.
Yeah. I can't. I think I don't know what it is. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Like, but growing up in Canada.
Yes, tell me about that.
Right, growing up in Canada, my dad, worked in the petrol fields. So we were always stationed in tiny little weird villages or towns, very small towns that have never seen a brown person in their whole life. And this is in the 90s when brown people this was before 9/11. And people used to think, it was better for Arabs before 9/11. It was not.
Okay.
Before 9/11, it was, at least there was no reason for them to hate us. They just hated us because we were Arab. After that, at least it was taught, because you guys did this. And it wasn't us. Even though it wasn't even us. But I was at a lot of places that I lived, I was the only person who didn't look like the white people that were there. And there was no black people or Asians in the places I was in yet.
Yes.
Right? Either white or a native Canadian.
Okay.
And we were different. I had curly hair. All the girls were perming their hair. I was not white. I developed as a woman when I was 9. Egyptian hormones, and they're like this, and like, wow, you're wearing a bra. That was like, it was bullying after bullying after bullying. So there was life was. I didn't understand what friendship meant. The only friend I had was the librarian.
Oh.
Because I loved books and I had a big imagination and I wouldn't have it any other way. If I got the memo of what it means to be cool when I was a kid, I wouldn't have established a personality or imagination or my love for trilogies,
or writing,
or any
everything.
of this stuff. Yeah, I remember we had in a writing class. It's just a writing class, English language writing class. All the kids would make fun of me. She's like, she's gonna fail because she's not from here. She can't speak English. And English was my first language at the time. English and Arabic were almost equivalent in first language. And I always got the #1 prize in the writing competition. I remember we were very young. Extremely young. And
how old were you?
I don't remember, but we were like babies almost.
Okay.
One of the first years you write stories, and the assignment was you're stranded on a desert island. What are you gonna do? Right? And everyone, wrote about SOS, build a fire. Habibti, I started a spa. It's like, I'm going to get avocados, all right? And then I'm going to get bananas, and they're going to be my hair mask because prolonged sun exposure, I built this whole thing. And then I met some animals, and then the animals, we taught each other's languages. It was insane for a child. And like the equivalent is, I will build fire for planes to find me. It was a childhood full of imagination, but without friends. And therapist can tell you the many ways that affected me, but we can all guess. But now, when I grew older, I appreciated more the human interaction piece. And I remember I used to say, when people say, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" People will be like, "I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be married." And I was like, "I want to meet everyone in the world." That was one of my things. I want to meet everyone in the world. And when I started working for social media companies, I was so driven by their mission because it's about connecting people. Because if I was, 8 years old in a tiny a town in the edge of Canada and I had the internet, I'll know that I'm not the only person that looks like me and acts like me, and I know I'm not alone. I'll know that if no one loves me today, there's billions of others, real people, not just number and a demographic, that might love me later. It could, there's all these things that kind of affect you. I don't know where I was going with this, but you're a therapist?
No,
Which...
I think it was just about how was it growing up as, a Middle Eastern person and with your parents doing that. It's not easy for them, I'm sure, also being immigrants from Egypt and leaving home and everything they've known and their families, and then having a family and raising kids. So I think it's definitely challenging as a child not to have someone look like you or you can relate to. I think it's like you said, like now it's so different, right? We're all connected so easily. Like it's a no-brainer. You can just go on your laptop and switch on your Zoom or FaceTime and speak to anyone and everyone. So but I'm sure now, like looking back, Noha, what would you say now to that younger Noha?
I'm gonna cry now. Witch.
Okay.
In a good way, يعني فاهمة? Like a wizard, witch, ساحرة.
Take your time.
I would say I promised you that we're gonna be free. And we are.
That's so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And you are. And you are.
Yeah. What she would say was, what the fuck did you do? Are you lying to me? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to put mascara. Oh, which is good news now.
Which is, it's all good. Is there something that you would want to tell younger Noha also?
Like, get in the car. We're going on an adventure. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I promised you we will be free. I did it in not the ways that we imagined, but I did it.
Yeah.
So, get in the car. We're going on an adventure, because in this last new chapter, I'm giving more grace to the child.
Yes.
I'm bringing her along for the adventure.
Yeah.
That's
so powerful, Noha. That really is. And I think it's so important for us to reflect on that, and because it just gives us a real understanding of how far we've come. And we often don't take those pauses to look back and be like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. And I'm here now. So you're here now. And you are on this beautiful adventure, and you are taking her with you, and she's always there. Yeah. And it's just so beautiful that you can reflect back on that, really. Anything you didn't get to say to your father?
All right.
Where are we going?
Let's go. I think it's more of, I wish he was around to see me fuck up my life, as other people would say, because he would have loved it. He would have absolutely had a massive laugh about it.
What would he say right now?
Bint abuha. That's what he said. That. Yeah.
It sounds like you got a lot from him.
Yeah.
In terms of your adventure for life and your freedom and your and بنت أبوها.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? I always find my mom passed away when I was around that age, a bit younger actually. And it's so strange because I look at myself now being older and I see her in a completely different light and a completely different way of things that I didn't appreciate at the time
Yeah.
that I do now. And understanding that, you know, she was my mother, but she was also a woman.
Yeah.
And I think that's with both our parents, whether our mothers or our fathers, that they are your father, their mother, but they're also themselves.
Yeah.
And I look back and I think, you know, I wish I was as I am now, as old and wiser as I am now in my life, to have seen that or appreciated that. Is there anything now that you look back on, you'd be like, I didn't appreciate that, or as much as I...
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. We were just not compatible, you know, but without... And I think everything happens for, like, not for the right reasons, but even that relationship is there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
I was young and stupid. I had no experience and was arrogant and thought that what I thought was right. And if I didn't have them to have those hard guardrails around me, I would have been dead, jailed, or the star of a Yusuf Shaheen movie.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
So I loved acting since I was a kid.
Okay.
And when you're a child in a school play, your parents will come, they'll clap, it'll be fine. But then when you're a grown adult and you're skipping university classes to go do the play, which was not shown in the theater of the university. It was shown in a proper theater.
Okay.
And apparently at the time, that's where all the big directors of Egypt would go to cast new faces. So Yusuf Shaheen, who's Yusuf Shaheen,
yes,
right, was in the first night of our play. We were doing West Side Story in English, and I was so bad in auditions.
Did you know he was there?
No,
Did you know of him at the time?
Of course I knew him at the time, right?
Okay.
But I never thought I was, like, the back of my mind is like, oh, I just want to be discovered. Like, you know, many stupid 20-year-olds, right? I'm going to be discovered. I'll still do my university stuff and, you know, the stuff that will get me jobs and things. I have a Canadian passport. I have a good accent. I'll get any job, whatever. But really, I just want to be an actress. But no one wants to do the work, so I didn't want to do the years of hustling and auditioning. So I just want to be discovered. But that wasn't in my head at all during that night. I was in this play. I'm really bad at auditions until today. I was really bad at rehearsals, but put me in front of a live audience, something else. I get possessed by Shakespeare's spirit or something. Who, you know, anyway, if I was in West Side Story, I was one of the Puerto Ricans, not even the lead, but I was singing and dancing and jumping around and making eye contact with people, winking. Like, it was, I owned the stage from a very young age, obsessed with it. And Yusuf Shaheen was in the audience, and he wanted to cast me immediately in Sukut Hansawar, which is the film that Ruby, the singer, actress, that was her debut. So I was up against Ruby at the time. So I went home, got ready to go have my meeting with Yusuf Shaheen in Al Haram. And if you're not Egyptian, Al Haram is just where all the cabarets and the dance place, like, it was just the place that no respectable woman would be seen in.
Yeah.
And I was there going to meet the biggest like director of films. Anyway, I was telling them at home, I was like, I'm just getting ready to go meet Joe Fil Haram. And then that's when the conversation was had, and I was like,
this is to your parents that you were telling them that you're going. Okay.
And I got grounded. I was like 19 years old or whatever.
Okay.
Got grounded. Thankfully the play was done, so I didn't have to skip the plays, and I'm glad that happened. I'm glad, because who knows what would have happened, you know, if I did that.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very provocative movie, not very against who I was at the time and who I am now even. Like, you know, I wouldn't, you know, who knows?
I think it's amazing that, you know, you look back at that now and you think that was probably a blessing.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't happen before therapy. Before therapy, I'd be like, they stood in my way of stardom. But no, after therapy, you're like, no, relax.
Yeah.
They knew better, which is good.
Yeah.
They also knew better to bring me back from Canada when they did.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They knew better every single time. They knew better when I brought in the third fiance. Was it the second or the third? Second. The second fiance. And they're like, this guy is no good. I'm like, but I love him. And he was no good.
And so what happened?
Well, he cheated on me with one of our friends. And then broke up with me 10 days after my dad died. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah, he was not a good person. They were right.
Wow. They were right.
They were right, yeah.
They were right. And, you know, as devastating as that must have been with everything, with your dad's passing, which I'm so sorry, it's still, it's, I know it sounds really dark, but there's gifts to it.
Yeah.
When people show you who they really are.
Yeah. Imagine if I got stuck with him.
Yeah.
If I got married him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That man is the man that punished me by not talking to me for a week, because when he was not beside his phone, I picked it up to give it to him like a good fiance, and it said Habibi number 2 on it.
Oh, wow.
And it's my fault that I just glanced at the phone.
Oh, so you were in trouble.
I was in trouble.
You were in trouble because you caught him out,
Yeah.
basically, because he was caught out.
Yeah, it's like, Habibi 2? Am I even Habibi 1? Like, yeah, so... Yeah.
So good riddance.
100.
I mean, that was a long time ago, so I'm sure that's... But again, you know, your point, I think I always find it so... Just life. You think that certain things at the time are, you know, the worst thing that could have happened to you.
Yeah.
And you look at it years later and you're like, thank God.
Well, not even years.
Could be less. It could be less. It could be less.
Yeah, like life as an artist, you get rejection left, right, and center. We don't talk about the rejection because PR, but there's...
Tell me about that.
Oh, the rejection is everywhere. Unless you are, like we say, your skin is thick.
Yeah, thick-skinned.
Right? We have, I translated direct from America.
Shakra. Is it?
جلدك تخين? لا, it doesn't sound
no,
right.
it doesn't.
What's
I
happening?
think it's thick-skinned.
Maybe I'm
translating
it in French. I don't know. What is it? Yeah.
Thick-skinned.
Thick-skinned, yeah, that's the one. We did it!
It is thick-skinned. God. Yes.
That's a journey.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that was, tell me.
So unless you're really thick-skinned and you have been trained well in the art of being rejected and not wanting to off yourself, you know, artist life for a second or third chapter is not for you. But the advantage is I've done this before, right? In my 20s, I had a corporate job and I hustled to become an artist, and I reached what would have been like perceived at the time as the top of being a TV presenter.
Yeah.
So I've been there. I've seen it. I've been rejected. I know it's not about me. And sometimes if you're, let's say you're auditioning for a role or there's a comedy show somewhere, it's not that they don't like you. It's because you don't fit within this lineup or this role isn't for you or whatever.
Yes.
And for us to say our self-worth shouldn't rely. No, unfortunately, it does rely.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they don't see my contribution, it's either I didn't show it right or my contribution is not valid to this. So everyone's complicit. Yeah. Right? It's not all about, it's just me and what I see. No, there's a lot to do with the outside world, but we have to self-regulate that the outside world doesn't affect us in a way that it changes everything about us.
How do you self-regulate?
Therapy. You gotta do the therapy. There's no amount of self-help books or looking in the mirror that will make you fix yourself. You have to get an expert opinion. That's number one. Number two is having the humility to be able to say, it's okay if I fail. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of people don't do the things that they love to do. I remember I said no to an art class once because it was with my team. I was the team leader, and in my head I'm like, why did I say no? Why am I getting anxious? I go on stages, I do this, I do that, but it's because I realized with the help of therapy that I was afraid I wouldn't know how to do it in front of my team.
Okay.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought the people that preach about it actually this happens to them? So unless you're sitting there self-aware of what you're doing, and giving space for the emotions to be felt
Yeah.
without judging yourself, or even do whatever. Feel the thing. Do
Feel
the thing.
it.
Just
Feel
do the
it.
thing. Give yourself,
Yes.
I have a day. I have like a crying day once a week.
Yeah.
Tamam? And this day is where I'm going to sit and reflect on stuff. And I'm going to watch little cat videos being adopted, which is adorable. Watch something, I don't know, call someone, have like an emotion or whatever. You have to feel the things.
Yeah.
You have to feel the things. If we keep suppressing them, they're going to come out from somewhere else.
100%. And I think it's important to feel them in your body.
Yeah.
It's important to feel them in your emotions. It's important to just reflect with yourself, like
Yeah.
you said. Just that self-reflection of be like, and being curious, like, why?
Yeah.
Where is that coming from?
You gotta follow that pain, like
Yes.
the discomfort.
Yes.
Right? A lot of people, or
Numb
me,
it.
yeah,
Could numb it.
Before my awakening, what would happen is you'll be in a place of discomfort, and then you'll want to trauma dump immediately. And you think that's therapy. So you call up a friend who's like, she did this and da-da-da-da-da. And you're not even there in the moment while you're talking because it's trauma dumping, right? And then, or you want to sit and like binge eat or drink or go out or whatever, which is numbing. We know it's numbing, but it's just our habits. And
yeah, it's a coping mechanism. And we all have different coping
and you could be the
mechanisms.
smartest person in the world.
Yes.
But everyone has the same reaction to
Yes.
discomfort.
Yes.
Right? So the people that go after the discomfort, that journal it to understand it, that practice it like a skill until the neural pathways are built to make
Yeah.
them catch them when they
Yeah.
happen again.
Yes.
Until then, you're gonna stay in the same cycle.
Yeah, again, totally agree. And it's, I mean, journaling, is that something you do?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always. Someone, usually with human interactions, right? So let's say a friend did something that upset me. So instead of going back and forth, I hate texting, I hate voice notes, I like a good old phone call to talk about where we're going to meet, right?
Okay.
I don't like that's unnatural. It's not good. Emails, I love emails though. Those are nice. I still
Okay.
like exchange emails with some of the writers that I like.
Okay.
I send them thank you notes when I read the book, and a lot of them respond, which is beautiful.
That's so nice.
But yeah, I sit and imagine what I want to say to my friend.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. And then I don't send it, obviously. That's the trick. You write, don't send. Read it the next
Is
day.
that like and that's a form of release and just getting it out?
kind of,
Just vomit, basically.
Exactly.
Vomit all out.
I mean, how many relationships were broken because you said something immediately without processing it first?
Definitely.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
usually when you're processing a reaction to someone, it's not what they did to you. This is the baggage of every single person that did anything similar, and you're taking out on them. And then you regret doing that, and it's too late because the damage is done because
Yeah.
you hurt them too.
Yeah.
And this whole cycle, that's just let's just,
Yeah,
you know.
it's just being aware in that moment and knowing that you have options
Yeah.
of, let me just take a breather. Let me walk out of the room if I need to. I don't need to respond then and there and at that moment.
Yeah.
But-
Like, again, other bad advice. Don't go to sleep angry. No, go to sleep angry. Or you're going to go to sleep broken up. I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't been in a long-term relationship in a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, like that applies to like friends, work. Oh my God, I had journals. If they had found those journals,
Yeah.
they would have put me in jail. Like not even HR. They'd be like, this is a person who needs mental help. This is the mental health. This is it. Yes, yeah.
Other than journaling,
Yeah.
anything else that you use as a tool that you go back to when you
Take
feel
a
that you need
walk.
to self-regulate
Nature,
your body? Yeah.
take a walk. I have friends that live around the world. I just send them like almost like a bat signal. It's like, send me video. It could be like, send me video of your baby, or send me video of whatever.
Is that your code? Like, send me video?
Send me video, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like one of my friends. I think she's having her baby around this time. She lives in London. One of my closest friends. I was like, show me baby. It's like it's still in her stomach.
Oh.
Show me baby. Other friends, they have little babies. Like, show me. It's a lot of babies and cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that, and what happens when you see them?
I think it's just joy, you know, like it calms you down. I think there's definitely a scientific element of some sort of serotonin release when you see children and babies, or people that you love, or people that have seen you and in your worst and your best, and they don't hate you, you know. So there's something there, you know.
Who would you say out of, you said seeing you in your worst and your bad, whereas who are you the most honest with or around?
Well, right now it's myself,
Okay.
which is a big difference
Yes.
than my history. Who else?
What does Noha do when no one's watching?
Okay, so a few things. I play these weird merge games.
Like what? What's
You know,
that?
they're like these games. You know, when you're on anything on your phone and you get an ad.
Yes.
For like you merge
those-
the potato with the
okay.
other potato and then it
Yeah.
becomes a fry. I'm addicted to them.
Okay.
I have to play like 45 minutes before I sleep. It's
Okay.
horrible, but I think it's better than Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I do to myself.
Yeah.
To myself. I do to myself.
Not to yourself. Yeah.
What else? I spend a lot of time alone. Like I actually enjoy it.
Yes.
So I'll sometimes have my staring at the ceiling moments. I'll just sit and just stare at the ceiling and have imaginary scenarios in my head. Like I just
Yeah.
imagine worlds and scenarios. And I mean, some people might say also manifesting, but I just like imagine multiple timelines, you know, and just
Of yourself,
yeah,
like yourself in different
Yeah.
scenarios, different life. I love that.
Yeah, that's general. What else do I do? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mm.
You know, it depends on which environment I'm in because I don't have routines. I am extremely unhinged and free now. Today I'm in Dubai. Next week I'm gonna go spend a few weeks with my brother in Abu Dhabi. The next day I'm gonna let me go to Dahab because I saw someone posting about it, and I decided I want to spend a month there.
So what calls you? What do you follow in those moments, Noha?
The
You're like-
calling, the intuition, immediately.
Yeah, the
I
intuition.
can't ignore it. I ignored it for too long. I have
Yeah.
this thing, like, I think my intuition was very strong in my 20s.
Yeah.
And then once I got into the corporate grind and I had different motivations, which were quite materialistic, capitalist, no shade, no regrets at all. It gave me the opportunity to do more things, right? I had to suppress the instinct. And now that I've been out of that cycle, I work a lot on making sure that my instinct is has a microphone.
Yeah.
So I can listen to it and I can hear it. So I just try to follow it as much as possible.
Yeah.
So when I get a calling, I go.
Yeah. I think that's the important thing.
Yeah.
And that's how we can grow it and make it stronger.
Yeah.
Is by listening to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Like I had like this image of myself
Yeah.
waking up to mountains and sea for months.
Okay.
I'm like, is it
Is
Ras
this
Al Khaimah?
recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since last summer.
Okay.
I was like, is it Ras Al Khaimah? Or is this Saudi? Like, where is this? And I'm like, is it Thailand? But in the, it's not a vision. It's just in my imagination.
Okay.
It wasn't, it's not Thailand. You feel
Yeah.
a certain energy. And then I saw randomly a month ago, a friend of mine was visiting Dahab. And Sinai, I know, is one of my like soul places. I'd spend weeks and weeks, as you know, in Sinai, as you as well, when we were young.
It's a really special place.
It's very special. Like
Yeah.
we can't even say spiritual. It's special.
It's special.
There's something
It's
about
special.
it. And
Yeah.
I was like, duh, how did I not even think about
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And I just saw exactly what I was envisioning. And that's when I decided, and that's why living this chaotic, unhinged, untethered life
Yeah.
is perfect
You know,
because it allows me
yeah.
to run and
Yeah.
follow these intuitions.
I love that you are talking about this because I feel like that's the magic of life that so many people miss. Is that energy. It is that calling. It is those intuitions of seeing, the magic and not it doesn't need to make sense. Like mentally make sense, like intellectually, I should say, make sense. But I feel like that's where the magic lies, is
Yeah.
when you, and I'm saying don't think about things, of course, like make decisions and think about things.
I say
But
no, just go.
It's like, I want to actually shut off more of this
Yeah.
and go more with this.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's your truth.
I think that's the main superpower.
And that is a superpower that we all have.
We all have it.
We all have it.
But a lot of us
It gets
suppressed
100%.
because of responsibilities,
Yes.
because of logic, because of we make plans.
Just the way the world,
No,
the
but
way the
and you know
world
what the
around
problem
us.
is? My problem that I realized what my problem with it was, is that we make all these plans, and we have to. There has to be a structure.
Yes.
Or so they say, especially if you have life responsibilities.
Yeah.
But the problem is, they say you make plans, God changes them.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So
has that happened to you?
Oh my God, my whole life.
What was the biggest incident?
The biggest one was
Anything that you haven't said before?
No, that one doesn't apply there. I'll talk about it, but it doesn't apply. But like a simple example is that before the 6 months that I gave myself after leaving New York of being an artist, or like taking a sabbatical, before
when you left,
I left New York.
New York, and you said, I'm going to give myself 6 months.
Yes.
And I'm going to just see what happens.
Exactly. I think around month 4, I was interviewing with this really big educational tech company in Silicon Valley. Like huge. Yeah. Like they're like the biggest one or second biggest one in their field. And it was a job I wasn't even qualified for. Okay. It was like VP of government relations. Like I've never, like the last person who had that job was a minister. Like, come on. Like I worked in social media. Yeah. But I was good at the things that they wanted this job to do. Okay. And I got the job.
You got the job?
I got the job. And then I'm waiting for the offer. And in my head, I'm like, oh, khalas, 4 months it is. It doesn't have to be 6 months of sabbatical. This was month 4. Okay. Right? Okay. It's like, khalas, I have to give it.
So you wanted to take that job?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Because logically, it made sense. Okay. Logically, it was, this is the next phase of my career. Yeah. Right. But then working in government relations, what I didn't really calculate at the time, it means I couldn't go up on stage and do anything. Because once you work at that kind of high level, even at Facebook, at the level I was in, I couldn't post anything unless it was approved by like 10 people. Okay. So I couldn't be an artist in that sense.
And your freedom was stripped away.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, I'm ready to sign the thing, celebrating with my friends. The next day, they went bankrupt.
What?
The whole company.
You're kidding.
Yeah. And I'm like, you didn't have to kill the whole company. Like, just not give me the job. Wow. But yeah, basically that's what happened. So it's.
And how did you take the news when that happened?
I was devastated at the time. I'm like, this was the best option, because I thought, based on my very limited knowledge of how the world works and what's out there and what possibilities are there, that this was the best option.
You make the plans and let's see what happens. Yeah. Which is. Yeah, I think it's, you know, again, it's human nature. You can't say that we never make plans. We're going to make plans. You've got a plan to go for the summer vacations with your kids, with your partners, with your sister, your family. We're going to make plans. But I think what life has taught me is that there's always an element of, like, inshallah, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Now, if you're like me, you've gamified the yes and. You know, like improv, yes and. It's like, there's a cow flying. Yes, and it's flying to the moon. Yes, and I'm going to hitch a ride with it. Yes, and I'm going to be the first Noah and the moon. Yes, and we're going to go and kidnap a few people to go there. Yes, and oh my God, Michael Jackson is out there. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah. It's like, I'm not saying that's how everyone should be. Yeah. But what I'm saying is right now I'm on that magic carpet ride.
I love that.
And I have spaces for anyone that and usually people come, they drop off, they stop in places, but they come experience the magic ride and drop off. And who knows what's gonna happen. You know?
It does take imagination, right? It does. I would say that it definitely takes imagination. And sometimes I played those little games with myself. I'm like, I'm going to go on this holiday and let me see who I'm going to bump into. That's just going to be a really nice surprise. Yeah. And it happens. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I'm going to play with this a little bit further. I feel like I want to go out tomorrow to this place or this to happen. And call it manifesting, call it putting the energy out there. But for me, it's like there's no attachment to it. Yeah. If it happens, it happens. I'm good. Yeah. If it doesn't happen, I'm still good.
Yeah. It takes you back to being in the moment.
Being in the moment. Yeah. It's that it doesn't add to me. It doesn't take away from me, but I still love it. Yeah. I would enjoy it. Yeah. And I think that is where that freedom and that moment really starts to to take place and you are so free. I hope we can just go into it a little bit deeper. When you said you were in that stage,
Yeah.
I believe, of the 6 months, and you got some surprising news,
Yeah.
which you weren't expecting. Can we talk
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. So we found a mole.
Who's
and-
we?
Me and the doctor. Just I was
Okay.
doing a checkup, and they found a mole, and they're like, "Oh, we need to remove it immediately."
Okay.
And I didn't want to be like, you know, those Americans that say, "Oh my God, we have like a cancer scare," and all it is they were scared it's something, but they, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did turn out to have cancer, skin cancer, and in the time where we were waiting for the biopsy to know what kind of cancer, that was an interesting time, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because it's one of two things mainly. It's either normal cancer that if you catch it early enough, it's still in the epidermis, I believe it's called, and you can operate and remove it completely. You're good. You just have to, you know, life changes a little bit. You have to monitor, not be in the sun, all that stuff. Or it's melanoma, and you've got like
Okay.
3 years.
Wow.
So we're waiting for the biopsy to be cleared after I had to do an operation. And I think that time was quite significant. That was towards the end of the 6 months of the
Wow.
break that I wanted to have after I got the news that the company that was going to offer me a job or offered me a job bankrupt. So I was like, what is this
Wow.
run of bad news? You
Yeah.
know, my dream job, which it wasn't, I didn't get it. The thing that people compliment me about the most was like, oh my God, you look so young for your age. Your skin is amazing. And that's what's trying to kill me, right? And I'm waiting to see how much of this life is left. It's wild, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
When you, I just take me back a little bit now. When you went to the doctor
Yeah.
for this mole, was it just a regular check? Did you go for that mole in
It-
particular? How did you discover it? Just
Before
to
I left
begin
the
with?
US, I
Yeah.
wanted to make the most out of my benefits of tech.
Okay.
So I went and did the most elaborate health checkups.
Wow.
And the doctor there said, maybe you should just get this double checked. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I honestly don't remember what made me go check it or double check it. But I don't remember what happened. That طبعا رحمة من عند ربنا يعني. It was a blessing that I did, but they just said go check it, and I went and checked it in Dubai, and that was
So you got that news from the doctor
yeah.
and you had to wait for the results.
Yeah.
Did you know how long you were going to have to wait for? Did he tell you?
She.
Or she?
Great doctor. Yeah. I think it was a week or 2 weeks. I don't remember. It felt like a year. Like it felt very long, but it was around a week, I think. Because the thing is that they check it first, and then they book you for the operation, and they take the sample. So they decided in the first operation that they're gonna remove all of it. We were not gonna take any chances. It was like this big. It was significantly big, but it was a
Wow.
birthmark I've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was very interesting because I've had this birthmark since I was born, and apparently whether it morphed somewhere in between or I don't know what happened, but it just did. So they took it out, and then so that's like I think diagnosis or like take it out, it's something, we know
Okay.
it's something.
Yeah.
Then the operation, then waiting from the operation for the biopsy to come out. That's probably like 2-3 weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what those 2-3 weeks were like. Who was around you at that time?
I don't think I told anyone. I didn't tell many people. I just mentioned something to my family. Not even my mom. My mom doesn't know. I hope she's not watching. But
She doesn't know till now.
yeah. We have a deal. Like we're not going to tell each other the things that will upset each other. That's a different story. But anyway, my brothers, I think I mentioned to them, it's like I have a little thing that I'm removing, and that's I didn't want to burden anyone else at the time that with like an undefined amount of time worrying.
Okay.
You know, and like I told you, it's my heart hadn't opened completely by then, so I wasn't vulnerable enough to tell someone this and then receive the kindness and love they would give me while we wait together.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I am.
Okay.
Heart cracked open
Yeah.
many times since then. But in that moment, I just was not ready.
What was going through your head in that moment? What were the? I mean, I'm sure there were tons.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. What?
I think some realizations happened. Of course, I didn't cry. I didn't go like, why me? No, I'm like, I think I was into therapy and self-regulation and rida and kind of belief in life and what could happen next at the time, to be like, okay, that's interesting. That's good to know, I guess. I didn't realize I would have appreciated to know if you had an expiration date and exactly when. But it's interesting that if this was the worst news, it'd be interesting to know, because now I have a goal that I didn't, I have a couple of years, and then I will live as if every day is my last. So actually, it's not that bad. Like, I was in a place where when I emancipated myself from the corporate world and became an artist, there's a lot of gratefulness, gratitude, practice, and faith, and all of that great stuff that came out at that time, right? And then I realized the realizations were, whether it's the worst news or it's just normal, just a bit of cancer news, whatever the result is, life can end. I mean, we all know that. Everyone knows that, something can happen right now. You could just stop living. It doesn't even.
We know it, but I don't think we talk about it.
No.
And I think it's important because we take time in life for granted.
Yeah. I think the fact that you made eye contact with it looked you in the eye, you can't look away. The numbing and living in denial and being on the hamster wheel, we can look away. But if it's right there looking you in the eye, it's like, I dare you to ignore me now. So I took the dare, and I didn't ignore it, and I extended.
What changed at that point? When you looked at it and you're like, what thoughts, or like any kind of, sort of realizations or awakening, or just...
Yeah, I think at that time I was like, I don't want to go back to an office, pretend to be someone I'm not, to build apps and products that make one white man in America rich, that fund Israel, it just all hit me. I was like, I can't pretend to be this smart, all-knowing, kind, grateful person, but my life choices don't reflect it. I can't just tell people to laugh and smile and stand on stage and make people I say, oh, I'm a joy bringer. I can't do that when I can't bring myself joy by doing the things that I want to do. So the realization was, from now on, we truly live every day like it's your last, right? Sometimes before it was on and off, but now it's every single day as if it's your last. I had to work hard to reignite the intuition, because when you follow it, as we talked about, that's when you get the clues of where you should be going and where the fun stuff is. Yeah. And then you gotta crack that heart open, baby. You gotta crack it open. There's no time. You gotta.
What did you discover when you cracked it open?
That I like cats. God, who knew?
Oh, really? That came from that?
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, again, a therapist would say.
Yeah.
That the reason that you were so averse to children and animals is because you're afraid of loving something so much. And they were right.
Were they right?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm telling you, like, I go play my merch games, and then I open cat videos being adopted.
Oh.
And I just sit and cry. And it's beautiful. And now I can't walk down the street. If I see a cat, I'm just taking it. I mean, I don't even live, like, I don't have my own home at this moment. And the only reason I'm thinking of, like, okay, hastaqir, but I'm going to, like, settle down and get a house and just be like an adult, just so I can get like 10 cats. You know what I mean? It's an inconvenience. Yeah. But that's one of the things that I discovered when the heart opens. What else? That you can't be angry at people, because sometimes anger is fun. sometimes like, oh, just, you know, when you're angry at someone and you want to sit and gossip about them. It's like, that person did this to me, and to trauma dump on your friends. That's fun. I can't do that anymore, because now it's like, that person's angry. I wonder what's wrong with them. Let's see if we can help them.
Yeah.
They can't be helped.
I mean, when you say cracked open, I love that expression. How does it, like, because I can literally see it, yeah? And it's like, literally, I feel like it's almost like a you know, a big hug, or a massive bouquet of like, here I am. What would you say, like, where did you feel that in your body? Do you feel like anything shifted physically in your body when you said like it cracked open? Did you feel anything differently?
I think physically,
yeah, like when you soften, when you, like, I always feel like, you know, people tend to,
it's like, I had my jaw clenched for like 2 decades.
yeah,
You know? So
Yeah.
once you, I think that also, that was because of responsibilities in corporate more. Heart open, I feel like, actually, this is an interesting one. I didn't used to like hugs. And now I'm just like a pro hugger.
wow,
Yeah, but if it's a dude and he's giving off pervy vibes, I will tell him, no.
no, yeah,
No.
good,
Yeah. You know who you are. Don't touch me.
Oh, you gotta stare, buddy. You gotta stare.
But that's when you crack it open.
Yeah.
Not only good shit comes
Yeah.
out, the shit comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's still work that you need to continuously do?
Always. The whole journey is like a marathon, right? There's hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. It sounds exhausting, because it is, but also you can rest.
Yeah.
But when there's momentum and you say yes to things, you know, you're not just saying yes to an adventure. You're saying yes to a new challenge.
Yeah.
So something new that's gonna grow. And when I decided that I'm gonna go live in Dahab for at least a month. That's not an easy thing, you know. Dahab is the opposite of Dubai.
Yes.
100%. Right. And for the people who don't know, just pause, go Google it, and come back.
Yeah. That's good.
But basically, that's that. And
Yeah.
starting from scratch, I don't know anyone there.
Yeah.
Right? And then watch me. See what I'm going to do. Probably have like 7 cats, stray cats in the street.
Sure, I can see that
Start
happening.
a little theater
I
troupe
can
with the
see that
kids.
happening.
You know, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
So I think I've just been comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say for too long. I think it's been comfortable for like 2 months. I'm like, okay, now what?
Okay.
It's addictive. I think when it's time for me to rest, it'll probably be when I'm dead. But also, it's not right now.
Yeah,
my
but I
intuition
mean,
now
like,
says go there
yeah.
and see what you can do. So
yeah.
yeah.
I love that you're following that. And I think you're going to have just an incredible time. I can't wait to hear part 2 and 3 of this.
I'm planning to learn how to ride a bicycle, which I don't know how to do,
Okay.
which my friends tell me is going to be funny,
Okay.
which is mean, but I think it
But
is
what
funny.
a story. I learned to ride a bicycle in Dahab.
In the hub at 46.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to swim, mainly because I'm afraid of, the people are afraid of anything underwater.
Oh, like, what do you mean? Like seawater? Or
Just
what
like,
do you
I
mean?
can't even look at a video of someone diving.
Okay.
It's just this weird fear
Of someone diving?
of just the big bodies of water.
Okay.
That's why,
got it.
but I fell in the sea and I learned how to swim.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it's
Yeah.
gonna get better.
Okay.
So I thought that would be an interesting thing to do as well,
Okay.
is try to like at
So
least
these are
snorkel.
your little,
Side quests.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
those are my little side quests.
So bicycle, swimming,
And just existing for a bit, not
and the book.
well, yeah, that's the big homework, obviously, yeah. And then being a little bit more physical,
Okay.
because I injured my foot from excessive heels wearing in event season last December. And then my foot had some nerve that was not working, so I couldn't even take a walk.
Oh.
Right. And now that my foot is better, the weather is bad.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want to go and just be in nature,
Yeah.
climb things, swim in things,
Feet in the sand.
not wear shoes.
Yeah. That's the
Kida.
best.
I just want to
I
see what
think
happens.
I mean, it's so important. It's what helps regulate me and just our nervous system.
Yeah.
When we have that grounding, when we have natural earth and seawater, it's so healing.
Yeah.
And it definitely just recharges
Yeah.
us from the inside. Like nature, we are part of nature,
Yeah.
and we need it. We
Yeah.
need to be part of nature.
Yeah.
And when we can't, it's fine. It's where we live. But when we get an opportunity, for me anyway, that always does the trick of just a recharge. I just wanted to say thank you so much. It's been so much fun talking to you. And thank you for being so open and so courageous and so vulnerable and just sharing all of these things about you, which has just been so wonderful. And honestly, I just love you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And I can't wait to see you up there because I know you will be. But thank you so much for coming on to What She Never Said.
Thank you. This was like 10 years of therapy combined into one. This was so much fun. I learned a few things about myself that I didn't know. You are amazing, and thank you for doing what you're doing for women and just for also men, because they should know.
They should know.
Yeah. And thank you. This has been great. Like, I actually can't wait to watch all of this and see all the other amazing women that you're talking to. And thank you.
Thank you for saying that. I really honestly, like, I think it's just about, for me, I've had this idea for so long, I told you. And I want us to just be courageous by talking about our lives openly and sharing certain things, because it just, you don't know who needs to hear it and how it can just really change someone's life by listening to someone else's experience. And I think that's how we learn. Like, I think wisdom comes not just from reading books, but from actually living life.
Yeah.
And when you can share your life with someone unfiltered, it will land. So,
amazing.
Yeah.